Welcome to the user guide video on how to use Silk Loop Returns integration using the Silk Shopify Connector app. In this section, we'll walk you through the most important parts of the Loop Returns integration: order synchronization, create return and loop returns, logistics updates, accepted and rejected returns. These features ensure that your orders, returns, and shipping information all stay aligned between Shopify, TikTok Shop, and Loop Returns. Now let's look at how orders are synchronized. On the Orders page, Silk Connector syncs orders from TikTok Shop into Shopify. Each order includes its TikTok Shop reference ID. We actually use the TikTok Shop order ID as the Shopify order name when syncing the orders from TikTok Shop to Shopify, and this is also the order name shown in Loop Returns. This way, Loop Returns can match it in the same order and properly handle return requests later on. Create return in Loop. When a return request is created in TikTok Shop, it may be approved either automatically or manually. First, automatically approved returns. Most return requests are automatically approved by TikTok Shop. In these cases, the return integration immediately creates a corresponding return record in Loop Returns, so merchants don't need to take any additional steps. Second, manually approved returns. Some return requests require the merchant to review and approve them manually. There are two possible scenarios here. If the merchant approves the request within the approval window, typically 24 to 48 hours depending on TikTok Shop policy, the return integration immediately creates the corresponding return in Loop Returns. If the merchant does not take action within the approval window, TikTok Shop will automatically approve the return once the window expires, and the return integration will then create the corresponding return in Loop Returns. Finally, manually rejected returns in TikTok Shop. If a return is rejected in TikTok Shop, the return integration will not create a record in Loop Returns. In other words, Loop Returns will have no record of this rejected return, and no further action is needed from the merchant on Loop Returns for this case. Refund-only cases. Some return requests may not require the buyer to physically return the product. These are treated as refund-only cases in both TikTok Shop and Loop Returns. Record keeping in Loop Returns. Even if no product is returned, the refund-only case will appear in Loop Returns. This allows merchants to maintain a complete record of all return and refund requests for auditing and tracking purposes. Refund confirmation. Once TikTok Shop confirms that the refund has been issued to the buyer, the corresponding case in Loop Returns is automatically processed, and its status will be updated to refunded. Key points for merchants. Merchants cannot reject a refund-only case in Loop Returns, because no physical product is involved. Loop Returns primarily serves for tracking and audit purposes. Return logistics. After a return request is approved, handling shipping labels and tracking information properly ensures a smooth return process. Generating shipping labels. Merchants are responsible for creating the shipping label and tracking number in Loop Returns for the approved return. Loop Return stores this information and prepares it for synchronization. Synchronization to TikTok Shop. Once the shipping label and tracking number are created in Loop Returns, the return integration automatically uploads them to TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop then allows the buyer to view and download the shipping label directly from the app, enabling them to complete the return shipment without delay. The app will also guide the buyer through the next steps to ship the package correctly, ensuring the return process flows smoothly from start to finish. Return accepted. When a merchant confirms that a returned package has been received, they can click Process Return in Loop Returns to mark the package as received. Once you click Process Return, the return status in Loop Returns will automatically change to Closed, indicating that the return process has been completed on Loop Returns side. At the same time, Loop Returns will update the corresponding Shopify orders through its existing workflow. The return integration will then retrieve this status update, labeled as Return Accepted, from Shopify via webhook. After the return integration receives the status update, it will automatically trigger the refund process in TikTok Shop. This ensures that the refund is applied to the buyer without any additional manual steps. So, as soon as you process the return in Loop Returns, the system takes care of updating both Shopify and TikTok Shop for you, keeping all platforms synchronized. Return rejected. If a merchant confirms that the returned item is incorrect and wants to reject the return, they should click Reject Return in Loop Returns. It's important to note that in TikTok Shop, a return can only be rejected after the returned package has been delivered back to the merchant, or 10 days after the package has been shipped, whichever comes first. Once the return is rejected in Loop Returns, the system will update the Shopify order through its normal workflow. The return integration will then pick up this return rejected status and sync it to TikTok Shop automatically. Please note, Loop Returns allows merchants to reject individual line items within a return. However, TikTok Shop does not support partial rejection. This means that only returns where all items are rejected will be synced to TikTok Shop. Partial rejections will not be reflected in TikTok Shop. Finally, let's look at order page and reporting. On the orders page, merchants can filter orders to show only Loop Returns cases. You can also check whether an order has a loop tag to confirm if it was processed through Loop. Alternatively, by clicking Show Loop Returns Orders, you can filter all pages to display only these orders. You can also export these records for reconciliation and performance analysis. To summarize, the Silk x Loop Returns integration provides end-to-end automation from return request to refund, real-time status synchronization, flexible reason mapping, less manual work for merchants. That's the complete walkthrough of the integration. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have further questions or need additional assistance, please refer to the comprehensive user manual or reach out to our customer support team. Happy selling!